Hey everybody, welcome to the channel if you're new and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. Today we're going to be talking about kind of bags, craft bags in particular. So we're going to be doing a tour of kind of my old bag. I'm going to talk about the new bag I'm going to move into. I'm going to show you what's in the new bag when we get to that point. And then we're going to talk about kind of the old system I had. So it's going to kind of be something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Actually, there is a lot of blue involved. So that does make sense. But it's all about bag tours today. So if that's not something that you're into and you want to hop on to something a little bit more planned with me and process, those videos are also in the feed. So we're going to talk about bags. So let's move that off to the side and talk about this mess. I can't even fit the whole thing into one camera frame right now because of the setup that I have. So that's sad. So this thing is busting and fraying and it's a mess and it's overfilled. So one thing that I want to talk about is the fact that I have a tendency to way overpack my bags. I want to see how much stuff I can get in them. It's a problem. It's real. So I'm constantly kind of going through and switching things out and cleaning it out, but I'm also constantly overstuffing the damn thing. So I'm just going to kind of give some generalization at this point as to where and how I have everything stored. If there's something in particular that you want to know, like a product that you see that you want to know about, feel free to comment down below. Chances are I'm going to remember it. I kind of have a memory like an elephant. So the first thing I'm going to attempt to do is to get this unzipped. So this bag and its matching tote bag are in a video in my feed that's about 3 years old. It was when I was still kind of new to filming, so it's really rustic, so don't get excited if you're used to this style of video. But it at least shows you kind of what I had in at the time, and I think it's totally different now. I really want to go back and watch the video just kind of for giggles now. And I think it's pretty long, actually. I will be repacking the tote that I have now, but I'm going to shoot a separate video for it that's kind of going to be styled like this. So we'll have that to look forward to at some point. So just a generalization. So back here, the top split above the zipper. So I still have my zipper. It's just all detached and crazy. I think that was the final straw for me to be like, okay, you need a new bag. Wow, this is tragic. And it's fraying everywhere. So back here is where I keep my stamps for everything. I usually try to keep things like alpha stamps, stamps that I use quite often, planner stamps, that kind of thing, all hang out back there. Here is usually where I store some sticker books, more of like my Tim Holtz kind of style, or single sheets, or kind of off brands. So not off brands, but not my Happy Planner sticker books, which are my go-to, and we'll get to that in a bit. So these are all that kind of thing. Sometimes there's rub-ons and extra stickers, things I don't necessarily want to forget about, but things that I need to kind of maybe keep in my stash so that I remember that they're there and try to get through them. I've been seeing a lot of people post and talk about use your stash. I'm guilty of doing that, and then I'm very guilty of buying a bunch of things and hoarding it, and I'm flirting with that line a little bit more and trying to get better at the use my supply side, but as we all know, it's very hard. This side tends to be all of my, I don't want to say chunky ephemera, what can I call it? I'm just going to say ephemera because that's really what it is. It's tons of cutouts. So like this is the Paper Source sheet. Is this even in frame? Good Lord. I don't know what kind of view we're working with. This thing is massive. That I've cut up and played with. I keep paint swatches in there. I keep, looks like I have some sticker flakes. I usually will keep like my Tim Holtz, layers and ephemera packs in here to play with, things that I kind of collect from various and sundry places that people would normally just chuck. Ooh, things like that usually stay in here. The zipper has come off, so it's wide open at this point. I don't even know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of getting used to this setup because it's lower down than my old one was. And this is probably going to be a temporary filming situation. So not really sure how that's going to run yet. But this is where more of the ephemera stuff is going. Then we're going to flip over to this side and talk about this kind of stuff. So there's two pouches that Velcro over on this side. So normally the way that I have it set up, which this is a hot mess right now, is my roller stamps, my ink pads, and ink blocks are all in this one. Again, making sure I'm in frame. This side normally has like my hole punches and my tiny attacher in it. So that's normally what's going on over there. This is randomly in here. This is randomly falling out everywhere. I'm gonna turn, oh, you can see all this now. Okay. So this is a mess as well. This is typically where I keep all of my sticker books. As you can see, there's rub-ons and sticker books and ephemera and random sticker book. It's craziness in here. I've been doing a lot of just shoving it back in there because since I'm not having to keep it pretty contained to travel with, it's just a mess because it's whatever I pull and then throw back in. I'm not really caring so much about putting things away lately. I don't know about you guys, but it's just been a mess. So one of the things that I'm going to do is debulk this and switch it out for things that I need and that I'm using currently and pack it into the new bag. So it's going to be a total unpack and repack. So that being said, I am going to talk about a couple of things. So my sticker books are always changing. I probably do like a spread with each sticker book and then try to recycle out so that I'm not constantly repeating myself. I really don't like to, sometimes I'll get on a tangent with a sticker book and I will use it for like several days. And then I'll get burnt out on it and switch to a new one. But I try to keep them constantly rotating so that I'm kind of shopping my own stash, if that makes sense. Because I have more sticker books than I could ever use. I swear, it's a problem. I was definitely one of those happy planner gals that got every sticker book from every collection there for a while. I've tapered off and really tried to be a little bit smarter about it. I've also been on a bit of a stamp tangent. So realizing that a stamp is a sticker that keeps on giving has been a massive thing with me and really kind of diving into that a little bit more. That being said, these are never changing. I pretty much keep the same roller stamps in here. I keep my blocks in here, my inks in here, my tiny attacher, my hole punch, all that jazz stays pretty much the same. I can talk about that a little bit more in detail once I get the new guy packed up and we'll go through it and I will kind of show you what I've got now, what's in my bag now, kind of a thing, if that makes sense. This is always a mess. I think the theory that I had was that if I shoved bobs and bits in here, that I would use them a little bit faster because they wouldn't get lost in a bucket or something like that. I can't say that it's worked as well as I had hoped because obviously, like most people, I want to use the new stuff. The same thing kind of applies with this little section right here because this is supposed to be my let's use it up sticker side. And that's not really worked out so well. My stamps, I don't really change. I'm a creature of habit with the stamps that I do use and I tend to love on them quite a bit when I'm in that phase. So I keep them pretty much the same. I haven't been stamping that much in my Hobonichi lately. It's been a lot of handwritten stuff. So there's that. So in terms of what changes and what doesn't change. So we're going to take this mess and scoot it off to the side. And that was a stamp pad hitting the ground. I think it's going to be okay. Okay, so now we're going to talk about this guy. So as I said, the bag that I just showed you was Happy Planner. It was one of the original bags that they came out with. I think this was even before they had the one with the pink trim, actually. It was the first Happy Planner bag. I have I've had it and loved it hard and well, long past 3 years. It's been great to me. I've worn it out. It's definitely time for something new. And I love that bag so much. There's really nothing that I can complain about with it, or the tote bag for that matter. I really do love both those products. I'm looking at maybe a new tote bag, but I don't need one. But I opted to go with a new Happy Planner. My mom had this guy laying around and wasn't putting it to use. So I asked her if I could have it to save a couple bucks. And so I did. I kind of liked the Amy Tangerine-ish style of it. So here we'll do like this. So it's actually in the same format. The exact same format that the other. It just looks like, I think, is this gold? Oh, it's the same all the way down to the teeth. Okay, cool. So you're gonna have your little pocket back here, which is where I'll store my stickers just like before. I have these awesome pouches. It looks like these might be a little bit bigger, but I won't know till I really unpack the ones that are in there. That's wild. That's different. It's got the pink instead of the black. And then if you flip it, you've got that same great pocket where I was keeping the chunky ephemera. You've got the little stretch pocket, zipper pocket. Yeah, it still has the packing in it. So God knows how long that's been hanging out at our house. So yeah, it's the exact same structure, just brighter, new little print thing going on. I think Happy Planners actually released a bunch of new bags. So you can check out their website for some of the older bag designs, and I think that they're quite a bit cheaper. I know I had someone comment on the older video recently saying that they had gotten their bag on quite a deal. And then obviously you can get a lot of these with coupons and things like that through Michaels, I still think. So we're gonna move everything into this new bag. I don't know if I'm gonna do that on camera or not. Food for thought. Or if I'm just gonna walk you guys through it in the end. It might be fun to do like a time-lapse video in there. We'll see what happens. Until the tour, I guess.
All right, guys, so here we have it. The unpacking of the old bag and the sorting and the hot mess to decide what's going to go in the new bag. I decided to speed this up into a time lapse for everyone's sanity because we'd already kind of gone through the bag. And I'll be talking about what made it into the second bag in the kind of secondary part of this video. But I hope you guys enjoy the super time lapse version of sorting. I found out a lot about the bag and what it actually could not hold in some cases. So here we go.
Okay, so as you guys just saw in a pretty awesome quick time-lapse version, the repackaging of bags I decided to do on camera just to throw it in the video. So now we're gonna go through the bag itself, and I'm just gonna talk about what is in this bag and just about the bag a little bit more, and things of that nature. So let's get in it. So this bag is from Happy Planner as well, as I said before. I did notice a couple differences, and I'll point them out as I go. I did a good job kind of in the first half of the video talking about any noticeable differences, but now I'll be able to get into the nitty-gritty of the changes I noticed in maybe sizes and things like that. So in the old bag, I kept my sticker books in the same place as I do in this one. I really didn't notice any difference of size. Back here, I was able to fit the same amount. I just debulked it a lot. So I'm going to talk about the sticker books I have right now. Back here. So I have some Agenda 52 books, and these can be found at Hobby Lobby. I am obsessed with this one in particular. I've used it quite a bit, and when I do my Hobonichi flip throughs, you'll be able to see it where I used it for a couple days in a row. I just like all the softer kind of muted colors in it. And then I have this one, and it's a little bit more brighty in spring. Brighty, is that a word? It is now. I don't know that I probably won't be rebuying it. I'm not going to go on a Hobby Lobby rant about that. I'm just choosing to take my business elsewhere for various reasons. I'm not going to use this channel to get into that. That's my personal, but yeah, I think they're great sticker books. If you were looking for a thumbs up or thumbs down kind of situation with the Agenda 52 stuff, I do like the stickers. I think they've held up very well. I have a couple packs. So I have those. I have my Be Happy box from the collaboration that Happy Planner did with Teresa Collins. And these are great because they're black and white, they're gold, they're pink. So just super easy, basic colors that I wanted to. And I actually ended up with 2 of these because some of my stickers were misprinted. So they were nice enough to send me a whole new sticker book and not just the pages I needed. So I could keep this in here and use it a little bit more regularly. I will consider buying, it was a horrible way to start that sentence. I will consider buying the colorful boxes or some version of that maybe moving forward just to have it, because I do notice that I use them in my Happy Planner just to kind of create a little bit of a border. Not my Happy Planner, my Hobonichi. Where's my brain at today? Anywho, so this is like the original, not the original, this was probably the first sticker book that they came out with that was larger. So originally it was these very thin ones that only had a couple pages in it, but this was like the first and the beginning of the bigger sticker books from Happy Planner. So I've got that in there to start kind of weeding through. I think the thing that I want to call the most attention to is the sticker books that I have chosen. I usually try to make it a mix of my favorites, like the ones I tend to grab the most for, that I use the most of, that I want the most of. That kind of all sounds like the same thing, and without me bringing my Hobonichi over here, which it's not near me at the moment, and kind of explaining what I mean, I tend to gravitate towards a lot of florals. I gravitate towards Maggie Holmes, hence that being. Sorry about that quick jump that's going to happen, or that just happened. My work phone rang, so it kicked my camera all higgledy-piggledy. Anyway, so as I was saying, I tend to gravitate towards Maggie Holmes and things like that. But another thing that I'm trying to be better at is putting sticker books in here that I maybe won't grab for as much. And then I'm just trying to get through, or they're getting piecey or dicey, or they're older, that kind of thing. I'm definitely in that use your supplies stage as well with a lot of my sticker books, because I keep them all on a shelf and I'm noticing there's a lot of them. So I try to throw those in here too, which is why the older books and the PC Hobby Lobby ones are in there, because I can do pretty much a full layout or two with that. And I do tend to color code and go with a theme. So you also see that a lot in my work. So here on this other side, you'll notice that all of the Tim Holtz small talk chit chat kind of things ended up on this side instead of on the other side in that pouch. They wouldn't fit. I'm not going to say that the pouch is smaller on either side, and I'll show you when I get there. On either side, there is kind of like a pin holder. So there's that. Sorry, I was reaching over to check the light. So that's how they ended up over on this side, which kind of meant that I couldn't put another, I probably could have done 2 sticker books. So I might reevaluate keeping my Tim Holtz books in there. I don't really use them that much. I use them very sparingly, to be honest. Florals. Love florals. I have the original sticker book, and then I have the newer floral sticker book. Mixed emotions on it, to be honest. I like the older book because they're all clear stickers, versus the newer book has a lot of cardstock stickers. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is all on white paper versus, and I think these are clear, These are on paper, clear paper. I wanted these to be on clear so bad, and they're on white. They do have a couple pages on the clear, which is great, but I'm just not the biggest fan of the white. I understand where it makes sense for the Happy Planner because it's a white background, so you don't really notice it as much, but I don't. I have a Hobonichi, so the clear is a little bit more useful. So I'll reevaluate that sticker book as I go. Another book that I do love is the Botanical. I have used all the florals out of this, but I love the girliness of it, the vintage vibe of it. So of course that had to get popped in there. Also making sure that when you're picking your sticker books, you do think about what you gravitate towards, and what will make a page whole. So you don't find yourself going, oh, I wish I had this sticker from this sticker book. Don't we all? But at least I know that my florals will all go with this Botanical. I know, and it has those headings of today's plans, notes, things like that. I know that most of my Maggie Home stuff would probably mix with one or two of those sets. I also have that Teresa Collins book, which has a lot of those black and whites and pinks, which is a lot of what I have in here. So just making sure that whatever books you choose can be used interchangeably with each other and kind of match up. So that's my sticker book side. So I'm gonna scooch over this way and talk about the pouches. They are still removable and repositionable with the adhesive Velcro that they have attached to them. I will say these are bigger. I noticed that first on. I don't know how that happened, but they are. I am repurposing one of them from the old bag as a pin pouch. So I'm gonna just remove the Velcro off the back of it and tuck it in my pencil pouch. That being said, I'm sure you're looking in this and going, does she not use markers or pins or whatever? I actually have a whole bag dedicated to all of my pins and my adhesives, like my Tombow adhesives, my little slice tools and X-Acto knives all live in there, so that I can just chuck it in my purse and keep it in my purse, so that I always have a myriad of pins. If I am in a place where I just feel like doodling and playing, all of my pens and markers are at my disposal, not disposable. And I can make my own stickers, so I don't need this whole thing. So having that in my purse is a little bit better for me. So on this side, I have my tools. So I have my roller stamps. I have 3 roller stamps in here, which I debulked a lot. I have this kind of traditional style from Pebbles. I have one from Snap. Is it Snap? It might be Carpe Diem is what it's called. I didn't think that was the name of the brand though, but it very well might be. And it's the Disney version. It's not called that, and I can't think of what it's called, but it says stuff like, let's see, does it say all smiles? Say cheese, dream, happy place, magic, imagine, I'm all ears, photo op, stuff like that. So right now I am working through the Memory to Memento course through James Burke Creative. I'll be sure to put that down below if anyone's interested. It is an affiliate link, so I do get some of the proceeds for the first 3 months that the class is actually open. And if you click on that link, which is really cool and a great way to support me and my creative journey. And if you don't feel like doing that, you can obviously go to his Instagram and go through to find the course that way too. And I'll link that down below. But since I'm working on that, I obviously wanted to keep this little guy in there because I chose to document my trip to Disney. So that's what I'm using as the course motivation. This is one from Amy Tangerine. I have 2 with her. Am I doing this even on? I am, like barely off center. Okay, it's hard for me to tell. But this is with Amy Tangerine. I have the one that has like all the days of the week. And then this one has more quote-based things like love this, and P.S. I love you, and happy mail, things like that. So that got tucked in there. This is a small hole punch. This is a traditional size hole punch. And then I have my tiny attacher. Ooh, if I don't break everything. So all these little doodads go in here. Another thing, in addition, I do have a lot of travel bags, I'm not gonna lie. This is probably my main one that usually gets put with everything. I do have another one that holds like my watercolors and some washi. I would like to get to the point where I can pare down a lot of this, but because I am working on so many projects right now and in quarantine doing that, I've got everything and the kitchen sink in my car and in these bags to keep me from losing my marbles and having more of my collection at my disposal instead of having to run home and get it. I am quarantining elsewhere than my home. So that being said, I'm definitely in that way overpacked craft stage. So this side holds my stamp pads and my acrylic stamping blocks. I have the Tim Holtz blocks, which I highly recommend because of the fact that they're so thin. That's my absolute favorite thing. And they have a grid on them. I did break one of them, and I have a backup set that I don't want to open. And then I do have two just kind of larger, not larger, but maybe a little bit wider clear blocks that don't have grids on them tucked in there too.